I'm sure if they don't exist already, there's going to be a ton of videos like this, but I'm doing this for me. When I saw that LEGO was going to be redoing some of the classic 2001-2002 sets, I was overjoyed. The two sets that, of course, stand out to me right away is this Hogwarts Fluffy Encounter and then the new Chamber of Secrets set, which are so remarkably similar to their 2001-2002 counterparts. To some extent, these comparison videos are never fair. Are you going to buy this set, which is available right now at Target for 40 bucks, or are you going to spend $100+ on the 2001 set? I hope you buy this one. Buy this one. It makes sense. But it's fun to look at what has changed. There's a lot of things that have changed in 20 years, so let's take a look-see. Alright, so here are the two kits. This is the Forbidden Corridor from 2001, and this is Hogwarts Fluffy Encounter. Obviously, you can see the similarities. We have the same minifigure selection. It's Harry, Ron, and Hermione in their Hogwarts robes. The 2001 Fluffy is pretty unique. It's 4 pieces. There's this combined black leg, brown top body, and this is the old brown, not reddish brown. And then there's 3 unprinted identical heads. And all of these are able to open and close, which is pretty nice. The shaping on this is pretty great. I do like the neck. The heads fit in pretty well. And the mold on the head is pretty good too. You can see the eyes, the nose detailing. There's the articulation in the mouths, which is super fun. I remember as a kid, you know, dog eats Ron, or just like the movie. So that was super fun. So the new Fluffy is a completely different approach. A lot of the large animals from Harry Potter have been brick built. I think back to that Fantastic Beasts set, especially. Overall, there's some pretty fantastic shaping going on here. Lots of fun curved elements at play. And the advantages, of course, to having this brick built mean there's a lot more room for the designer to have articulation in the body. So all the legs move. The posability of this is awesome. The tail can be posed as well. This new Fluffy has printed heads, which are pretty cool. They take on a much more comical feel, I think, than the old version. A lot more rounded edges, more exaggerated features, especially in the printing, too. The printing is pretty funny. Each head has a unique print, which is really cool. The different states of falling asleep. So I think they did a really good job with that. Biggest downside of these heads is that there's no opening and closing mouths like the old version. It's completely hollow up on the inside. There's a lot of colors here, but most of them work. Of course, that brings us to like the one of this, which is the light gray mixel ball joints, which are truly unfortunate. There's no way around that, but there they are. I do wish we could see those in other colors. There's reasons for why LEGO only produces these in light bluish gray. It's to differentiate it from the other ball joint, which is done in dark gray. But is it really necessary? The one thing I am missing, unfortunately, from this kit, never had it, because this was purchased from a rummage sale, all used already when I got it, like in 2003. There is no flute piece. This originally came with a lightsaber blade element with a printed flute pattern. That is based on the book, which was actually kind of cool to see. The newer version instead comes with the harp. And I was pretty skeptical about the harp when I saw the first pictures, but I'm actually really satisfied with this build. There's this wonderful stickered element there in the middle for the strings, and it works really well. The yellow is a bit gaudy, don't get me wrong, but the Harry Potter reboot, all in all, has had a much more cartoony feel than some of the older kits. And I think that's fine, you know? So that brings us to the structure itself. So these builds actually take up an identical footprint, which is going to be 24 by 8 studs. The heights, let's talk about that. What's cool about this new version of the build is there is a little more reconfiguration possible, where you can do this. take the tower apart and do this, and then you have this standalone tower, which is a little weird, but it works. And so on the inside, that allows for the trapdoor to line up with the devil's snare down below. From the front side, this actually looks a lot better. Everything lines up real nice. I actually do like this configuration. It's a pity that the tower can't go anywhere, but this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good to me. This has quite a bit of height in and of itself. No reconfiguration besides the hinge here, which allows you to do a little bit of that. One interesting thing is like this old 2001 build is not focused on the exterior. The exterior is what it is, but the interior really comes to life and is really important in this build. Whereas this build tries to focus on both as much as possible. However, I think putting some of that part count toward making a really nice facade means for a rather lackluster interior. So the best part of this old 2001 set by far is this absolutely epic, again, Ron-eating Devil's Snare. It's just a great feature, super satisfying. It's just activated by this red mechanism, and you can chomp away. It's awesome. And then there's the most disappointing part of the new kit, which is the Devil's Snare. 3 black tentacles that you can put somebody inside. I wish there was at least dark green. Black is a really weird choice. There's a bone in the background. This module down here is really weird. 2021 makes up for it, and I think a very random interior space, which is this interior space of the tower. We get our first one of these new jars, which is a printed minifigure head in transclear. I did not realize how cool these were going to be. I was excited to get this, don't get me wrong, but the print is even cooler in person. And I wish I had my macro lens to really show you the detail on this thing. But it's got gold leaf printing. It's really pretty. But all in all, this space is really nice. I like to think it's a little homage to Snape's challenge in protecting the Sorcerer's Stone. If that's the case, props to the designer. That's awesome. But it's just a nice little bonus area to get, and you get some really fun pieces. Including the printed head was completely unnecessary, but I'm really happy to see it here. Compared to the old set, there's a chest that would contain the flute and also a key. Tower section of the old build is topped by this really unique roof piece. I've got a few of these from the old kits. It's not a terribly useful piece. It's a pretty unique use case, but it's really pretty. 6x6 in sand green. Great texture on it. You can take this off and you'd be able to stack modules on top like that. So these are kind of compatible, actually. That's kind of cool. There's another weird shortcoming of this that I don't quite understand, and it's this. Obviously, this piece looks like a drill. So this piece actually has been included in 2 other Nexonite sets as a drill. Why they felt the need to repurpose it here beats me. It's really awkward. It looks so much like a drill, and there's this beautiful smooth shape going up, and then the angle changes, the texture changes, and then we get to here, the smoothness changes, the texture changes again. I get we have a bit of texture with these unicorn horns, but it does not look like this. There's just way too much going on. As far as I'm concerned, these old cones are still the way to go for this. There's 238 pieces in this kit, so not a lot of pieces. This comes together so fast. This is 397 pieces. It takes on a lot of the similar architecture style, though, with pillars and arches. It brings into play probably one of my least favorite pieces ever, which is this window arch thing, which I'll have to do a video on that another time. This you can pick up pretty much anywhere for 40 bucks today. If you want this new in the box, it's about $160, so 4 times as much. It looks like a used one. You're going to pay about 50 bucks, which really isn't that bad, considering how old this is. Which one is my favorite? Perhaps this isn't a fair call for me to make. My eyes are clouded by nostalgia. There is something so charming about this build to me. It's not as pretty, but It's satisfying to build, it's fun to play with, it's got some really unique parts. This is beautiful. Fluffy here is fantastic, but again, there's something about the old Fluffy, it's very clean look, that it just works really well. It's hard to say if one is better than the other, honestly. Both excel in certain areas and really kind of fail in some other areas. Like this is ugly all over the place. The Devil's Snare, which shined so much in this 2001 build, is definitely the worst part of this build. Though I do like the reconfigurability that this build offers compared to this one. I totally forgot. This one actually comes with Golden Hermione, and I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, but I don't care at all about the golden minifigures. It feels like it should be something right up my alley, but it's not. So that's just gonna sit new in the bag for a while until like next 40th anniversary, and I'll sell it for oodles of cash. This is not a case of they took everything that worked in this set and made it better. They took some things and made it better, and then that was at the cost of some other aspects. So both are great kits. I love this new Harry Potter wave. I feel like I was a little too harsh to this set. It's a great set. I think anyone who buys this set is going to enjoy it, especially if you get that other Hogwarts castle and the Polyjuice potion set and start stacking these around. There is an unmistakable charm to these sets that LEGO would be hard-pressed to reproduce in the current environment of LEGO sets. LEGO sets are just not made this way anymore, and there's plenty of good reasons for that. But there's still a lot of value to a lot of people in something like this. Thank you for taking the time to watch this comparison video against all the other comparison videos of these two sets that are out there probably by now. I hope this provided some value. I hope that you go and buy both of these sets because they're both awesome. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, guys.